got one more I want to go.
Okay.
Get on the other side.
Let's see what we got here. We've got what we've got here is a modified form of Morris Kohansky super shelter modified to be used as a hammock. And basically what the super shelter is basically using the igloo concept where you have a closed system or a greenhouse effect by having the poly over a reflective surface, which in this here we're using a tarp made from photography reflective material. And so what that's doing, the infrared rays are going into the shelter, the reflective surface is reflecting that back, and the poly is keeping that heat inside the structure. And so what we've got here, we've got a parallel, what we call fire lay. We run our hammock in the fire parallel with the prevailing wind. And then normally you can figure we keep that one step, the fire one step away from our poly. We secure the poly in the front with two logs, and then we make sure we bring our poly a little bit in towards the hammock, so if there's any sparking, the sparks fall down from the poly and don't burn holes in the poly. And the thing is, you can use like a 2 mil poly, a 4 mil poly if you want it to last longer. And on the hammock, I tend to use a sheet 12 by 12 just because they have this added length necessary for the hammock. If we were going to make this shelter to be just for an individual to sleep in, we could do like a baker's tent and just have it 6 or 7 feet long, and that would work just as well. Okay? Stop. What else should I say?
Explain why it's Mylar showing on top that you folded it back.
This here would be, this is my typical 6-sided tarp I use for hammocking, but what I did, I added 2 added loops, and then I just folded that back, so now I'll be able to use that as, kind of a half a baker.
So the back wall of the shelter is reflective.
Right, you have to have a reflective material.
We can barely see that through the poly.
I'll raise the poly here and you can see it.
There we go.
And so that's giving you like a reflector oven type effect. It's reflecting that heat back. We haven't had a fire lit very long, but we've got a thermometer in there, and we'll see how long it takes.
And out here, it's 0 degrees, so
yeah.
Whatever gain you get ought to be significant.
Well, normally you can keep it, I mean, there's no problem once you have a good fire established of keeping this to a temperature where you could actually sleep with your clothes on and no other bedding on top of your hammock. I do like to use one little insulating pad underneath just to keep that coolness that you always find because heat rises. The other thing that makes it really nice, it allows the user to dry off all these clothing at the end of the day. So even once the fire is well established, you let it die off, go to sleep, you've got your regular sleeping layers, you'll be able to have everything dried off. The other thing that makes it nice is when you're enjoying your fire, you don't have to worry about the smoke. It eliminates that problem altogether. So when you secure your end, you secure it loosely as a closed thing, so it still gives you a good air exchange. Okay. And then like you can see here, this is a little bit open, because you do want a good fresh air exchange.
And the lines that are tying the tarp out?
Those are just
yeah, but they go through the poly.
Right, you make a couple small holes to run your lines through. So you want to keep the actual overcover as snug as possible because all of those holes are going to cause you to lose. Tell it.
How warm is it in there, Stippen?
It's above freezing.
Really? It's above freezing?
I'd say so. Temperature on my hands.
Probably on the ridge line there, I bet you're probably closer, maybe 10 degrees warmer.
Yeah. You reach up here.
Well, how's the smoke in there?
What smoke? I feel like I'm on display.
You are on
The
display.
bubble boy.
I'd pretty well say yes, you are. Got a new handle there, the Bubble Boy.
Hey, I'm the sick one. Let me get in there.
Yeah, we're gonna throw some rocks in the fire and then throw them inside and pour water on them for Mac here.
That probably worked pretty good.
That's a good idea.
Good idea, isn't it?
Oh, you know what? Some little channels from the fire into there.
That's the first thing my dad told me about that.
First we gotta go find the rock.
Smoke in here, Grandpa.
Yeah.
And I don't want to dig that deep in the snow.
You coming out?
Yeah.
All right. We'll go in.
Going from the front. Just pick that right up. There you go.
You can hold this. Thank you. Yeah.
And that's that. Then what you do is just kind of pull a little way in towards you and set the log on.
What was it like? How do you,
Amazing! It was unbelievable!
How do you feel?
A little uncomfortable.
I'm going in.
A little on display.
All right, let's see if I can do this with one hand. I got it.
Once you're inside there,
Yeah, smoke. Did I destroy it? All right. Now I get in this hammock. Wow. It really is warmer in here. Gosh, this is as warm as the tent over there with the stove in it.
Well, you got your glove off. Put your glove down by your hand down by your feet, and then put it up above your head.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well. This is pretty good.
Yeah.
Out there are the critics.
If you pay me enough, you can stay in there tonight, and I'll just keep feeding the fire every couple hours for you.
Okay.
But you got to pay me.
This is amazing.
Now, we're really roughing it there, aren't we, in this great North Woods?
Yeah.
One thing for sure, we're eating really good.
Oh my God.
Now that we got a good fire, this will keep.
What? This some kind of trick? You're tricking me to come in here so you can barbecue me?
That's
All we got to do is scoot that fire in a little bit more. We'll be starting up.
Well, crikey. Here I am, sitting in this shelter, and we have measured a 40-degree temperature inside here, which is 40 degrees higher than out there. Isn't that amazing? I don't know if you can see it, but there's the moon right above the fire. This is nice. I gotta make me one of these shelters. Can you see where that great big bunny rabbit hopped? And look at this. Perfect view of bunny rabbit feet. And there he went. Hopped right on through the woods. Here another bunny rabbit came hopping through. Jumped right across the road, left no track. Jumped again, off he goes into the woods. Another wonderful view of jackrabbit imprint. And from over there, hoppity hop, headed out that way. Crikey, mate. You'd think I could tell a bunny rabbit from a lynx. None of those were bunny rabbit tracks. They were all lynxes. Very unusual. A big cat paw with part of the wrist laying down is how he got his flotation. And tiny little rear footprints, but a little too far behind it, especially the rearmost one. So he was leaping with all four at once. We had to look him up at Four Dog had a book with a lynx track in it, and we confirmed it. A lynx. I've read about them, but you can tell I've never seen those tracks before. So I'm sure the lynx knows where the bunny rabbits are. Here we have something that tunnels through the snow. Crossed the tracks, disappeared into that hole. Nothing yet. Who knows what that was? Here's another one. Tunneled out of the snowbank, crossed our little road we've made. Disappeared again. What in the world do you suppose that is? Now this might be a fox. It came out of the woods here, and I've been noticing that it went on down our trail that we made for quite a ways. Very small prints, not a very long stride. Probably a fox. Here came a tiny critter. Short steps, dragging a tail. I don't know what that could be. Can you see it well? Two more tiny critters. I wonder what they are.